Hey guys, it's Burr from Inside Outline, and welcome back to another episode of the Cricut Business Podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why so many Cricut creators don't sell and why some who do still feel stuck. So if this is you, you're going to want to stay tuned for the entire episode. So let's jump right in. If you've ever thought, I should start selling the things I make with my Cricut, you're not alone. Every day, thousands of crafters wake up dreaming of turning their passion into a profitable side hustle or full-time business. But for many, that dream stays stuck in the what if stage. On the flip side, there are creators who have started selling, whether on Etsy, social media, or at craft fairs, but they still feel frustrated, overwhelmed, or like something's missing. So what's really going on? Why do so many Cricut users never launch their business? And why are so many Cricut sellers not happy with where they are? Let's break it down. So one of the first reasons is fear of judgment or failure. So a major reason many crafters never start selling is because of fear. Fear of putting yourself out there, fear of hearing no, fear of looking unprofessional. That fear shows up as procrastination, perfectionism, or endlessly getting ready but never launching. Some of you may be there right now. I've been there before too. One of the second reasons is because of imposter syndrome. And what that means is that many Cricut users don't see themselves as real business owners. They downplay their skills, comparing themselves to more established sellers. That mindset can hold them back from even listing their first product on their own website or even on Etsy. Okay, the next reason, third reason, is tech overwhelm. So setting up an Etsy shop, building a website, figuring out email marketing, taking those product photos, and pricing items can feel like a lot, honestly, especially when you're learning everything from scratch. This overwhelm leads to analysis paralysis, and that is when, you start, doing a bunch of research. You're like, I need to do this research first before I get started, or you're always finding other things to do outside of actually working on what's going to move your business forward. And two, again, with that tech overwhelm, you may not know how to use all the tech tools, but I guarantee you, if you do a search on Google or YouTube, you're going to find those tools and instructions on how to use that tech and build whatever you need to build. But also there are plenty of people that are willing to help you build your Etsy shop, build a website, help you with email marketing and things like that. The fourth reason why is because that many people are unclear on what to sell. So some crafters are multi-talented. They make shirts, mugs, tumblers, decals, cake toppers, and so much more. But then you have those who get stuck trying to figure out which products to focus on and who they're selling to. You may have heard other people say before that you can't be all things to all people. So when you're starting out with your Cricut business, you definitely want to make sure that you kind of narrow down your focus first. And then as you gain customers, you can start to expand your product line. Okay. So number 5, life gets in the way. Listen, we're human. Life be lifing. So let's just face it. We're all busy, whether it's work, kids, school, or just everyday responsibilities. Time can slip away. And without a clear plan or accountability, the dream of selling just stays that, a dream. So even when life gets in the way, you're busy, still try to carve out, if nothing but 10-15 minutes to work on your business. And that's why staying focused is going to be so important, because if you have a list of things that you need to do, you can kind of allot time to those different things on your list. And depending on how much time you have available, you can determine, okay, I only have 15 minutes to work on my business tonight. What's something that I can accomplish in 15 minutes? That helps you stay focused. That also helps you to keep moving forward. Number 6 is fear of success. So believe it or not, some people hold back because they're scared of getting too many orders and not being able to keep up. The idea of growing too fast or disappointing customers feels more stressful than exciting. And I know that I have been there before, and I kind of go through my seasons of being in that place of being fearful of success. And just like I said before, it's like, oh, what if I get too many orders? Or, what if I'm not able to keep up? One of the excuses that I've used before in the past is I don't like being tied to my computer. I like to travel and do things. But honestly and realistically, I'm only traveling a few weeks out of the entire year. So it's like, that's an excuse. And that's just you being fearful of success. And so I had to change my mentality, my mindset on what that looks like for me. So now let's get into some of the reasons why Cricut sellers may not be happy with their progress. So if you're someone who, sells your Cricut items from time to time, I want to talk to you about some of the reasons why you may not be happy with your progress. And then towards the end of this, I'm going to give everyone some different tips and actions to keep you moving forward with selling your Cricut and your craft products. Okay, so let's say you started your Cricut business, you've got some listings, maybe a few sales, and people love what you make, but something still feels a little bit off. Here are some of the common reasons why Cricut sellers feel stuck, overwhelmed, or unsatisfied, even after they've launched. So the first thing is that your sales are low or inconsistent. So you might be creating those great products, but they aren't really selling, or they're not selling often enough. That can be discouraging, especially if you had higher expectations for income or growth. So, you thought that once I buy all of these different tools, all these different products, I got the heat press, I got the, the t-shirts, the sublimation printer, the DTF printer, just all the things. And now you've listed them online and your sales are low or inconsistent. That can be very disappointing and discouraging too. So that's one of the first reasons why Cricut sellers may not be happy with their progress. Number two, you're underpricing your work. So many new sellers, they price too low to attract their buyers, but then they realize that they're not actually making a profit after their materials, time, and fees. And that leads to burnout and resentment. So you say, you price your product for something, and basically after you've done all the things and you've shipped it to the customer, you realize, hey, I really didn't make any money off of that sale. And so again, that can lead to burnout and resentment. That can also lead to you being unhappy. Number three is you're burned out. So when orders come in and you're doing everything yourself, you're cutting, weeding, packaging, printing, shipping, that can get exhausting. So you started crafting for fun, but now it feels more like a chore. It feels like another part-time job to you. And, you're just burned out. That's why you're unhappy, because you're burned out with crafting. You no longer love what you do. It becomes a chore now, and it's another job to you. Number four, marketing feels hard. So if you're not getting traction on social media, or you're not sure how to promote your products without feeling pushy, it can feel like you're spinning your wheels. And I know that that's a hard place to be in, because it's like, I'm doing all the things they said to do, right? I'm posting on social media. I'm writing articles. I'm posting a new product once a week or once a month, or whatever that looks like. And it's like, I'm still not getting anything. That could be part of the reason you're unhappy with where you are in your business. And then number five, you don't have a clear niche. So I mentioned before, you probably sell all kind of things, but nothing sells consistently. And without a clear niche or ideal customer, it's kind of hard to stand out in a crowded market, because again, you have 50 different products and you only have one of each one of those products. And, you may have 2 or 3 products that sell one week, maybe 1 or 2 that sell the next week. And it just feels hard, because you don't really have a clear niche product category. So you don't have 15 tumblers with different designs that you're selling. Maybe you have one tumbler, one shirt, one hand sanitizer label, one gift box, and I think that's part of the problem too, is that, you have only one of each type of product, but you don't offer that product in a variety of designs. So that could be what's leading to your dissatisfaction as well. Number 6, you're comparing yourself to others. We all deal with this on a regular basis. So social media makes it easy to compare your journey to other sellers. So seeing someone post about a $10,000 month while you're struggling to get orders can make you question whether this is even worth it. But I want to let you know that those people who are starting or who are posting, that they had a $10,000 month or $5,000 month or whatever that looks like, I guarantee you that they started exactly where you are. They have all the same feelings that you have right now. So just be encouraged when you see those type of posts that you can do this too, with the proper planning, with the proper strategy. And number 7 on this list, you lack systems or support. So without tools, systems, or automation in place, like order tracking, customer follow-ups, or batch production, everything feels manual and chaotic. And that, to me personally, is one of the worst feelings ever. It's like, if you're creating products and it takes a lot of manual work, you, as a business, you should be looking for ways to kind of automate some of those processes so you don't have to do it every single time. That can take some time to figure out, but If you're doing it all alone, the isolation can be draining, especially if you don't have people to talk to about, what you're dealing with in your business. You have your family, you have your spouse, significant other, you have friends, but they're not business minded. They just don't understand. They're not there. They're not experiencing it. And so sometimes it can be hard to even have those conversations with them, because it's like they're really not engaged in the conversation like you want them to be. They just don't understand. So, lack of systems or support, that can definitely be one of the reasons why you, as a current Cricut seller, may feel like, unhappy and unsure about where you are. So now I want to talk about how to move forward, whether you're just starting or you're already selling. So if you're on the sidelines or if you're already selling, you're feeling stuck, the key is to get clear on what's holding you back and take small, intentional steps forward. So here are a few things that I recommend that you try. Start with one product and one platform. Don't try to do everything at once. And that's where a lot of the times the burnout and the procrastination and the analysis paralysis comes in, because you're trying to do everything at one time. Start with one product. Start with one platform and go from there. So like I mentioned earlier, if you have 50 products and none of them kind of align with each other, then you want to take a step back and you want to evaluate what you're doing. If you have one product, let's say that you have tumblers, make sure you have 10 different tumbler designs that people can choose from, because now you're building a product line instead of just selling an individual product. I also recommend selling gift boxes too. So with those tumblers, you can put a tumbler in the box, a t-shirt in the box, and let's say that you put like some hand sanitizer in the box as well. That's a gift box. You can package up all those things. You can charge more for those things as well. And then for the different holidays or celebrations that come around, you can target those events to sell those boxes. So gift boxes, that can be one product, but you have different designs for different holidays and different events. Okay. So invest in community and coaching. You don't have to build your business alone. There are plenty of Facebook groups online that allow for Cricut or craft business owners to kind of come together, talk about different things, pricing, all of those things. Those things do exist, but then you also have coaches like myself who provide that support and that guidance on, how to keep moving your business forward so that you don't feel like you're stuck. The next thing is to focus on mindset as much as strategy. So confidence and clarity, those kind of go hand in hand. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself mentally so that you can perform and that you can show up in your business the way that you want to. Okay. So if you're thinking to yourself, I can't do this, this is hard, I'm never going to get to where they are. Again, you're comparing yourself to others. Just stop that talk to yourself right now. That's not what you need to hear. Okay. You need to hear yourself hyping yourself up. Okay. So, instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I can do this, and I'm going to figure out how to do this. Okay. So I mentioned before, if it takes you Googling or looking for YouTube videos on how to do something, do that. If you need to reach out to a business coach or even go on Fiverr or something like that to get somebody to help you, do those things. Okay. I know a lot of times we want to try to do everything ourselves, or we may not be wanting to invest monetarily into moving our business forward, but you have to stop and consider, okay, what is it going to take for me to actually move my business forward? Is it going to take me sitting here trying to figure it out myself? Or if I want to move faster, quicker, do I need to ask for help, basically, by finding those resources, finding those videos that are going to help move me forward? Okay. The next item is to create systems early. So from how you track your orders to how you post on social media, systems save you time and energy. There are different tools that you can use to schedule social media. If you use Instagram and Facebook are basically the same company. Facebook bought Instagram a couple years ago. And so if you want to schedule posts to Instagram, you can do that in the Instagram app, but you can also do that in the Facebook business planning section as well. I'm sure you can just Google that, figure out how to do that yourself. So as much as you can create those systems and automate processes, I'll say this too. If you're somebody that's taking orders in the DMs, I want you to stop, okay? Because you're going back and forth with customers that may end up ghosting you, okay? That's precious time that you could be using creating a product or posting on social media or doing something else for your business. So I want you to stop taking orders. in the DMs, I want you to set up a website. PayHip, that is a platform that I recommend. Square is another platform that I recommend. Both of those you can start for free. And you can list a bunch of different types of products. You can list digital products, physical products. They have free platforms, so you're not paying a monthly subscription. You will pay for those transaction fees, though. So whenever a customer places an order, those platforms are going to take a small percentage of your of the sales that you make. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, I also want you to celebrate your progress, not perfection. So every product you list or so you make is proof that your business is growing. A lot of times we're down on ourselves because, we got that one sale, but maybe it was a couple of dollars. Maybe it wasn't $50 or whatever you wanted it to be. Don't get down on yourself. Every win is a win. Okay, so celebrate those wins. So I want to leave you with this. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You just need a clear path forward. So whether you're starting from scratch or ready to scale, your Cricut business deserves to thrive, and so do you. So I just want you to be encouraged. If you're struggling with selling your Cricut items, send me an email. Let me know what you're going through, and I can provide you with some encouragement. I also want you to find some different communities, online communities for craft business sellers to join so that you can, get uplifted and get encouragement from those groups as well. Also, if you're interested in business coaching, I do offer that assistance. I'm going to have all the links down below in the description. So I hope that you all are encouraged from this podcast episode, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in.